Okay, I guess I'm recording. It's Mr. BPD. You're at the Mr. BPD podcast. What's a podcast? Well, from what I can gather, it's a video where I don't actually get in front of the camera and I talk a lot. Now, I'd like to have a guest on the podcast. I've noticed most podcasts do have guests. Unfortunately, Mr. BPD does not have any friends or anything. No, I'm joking about that. I don't have any friends or anything that are willing to join me on a podcast. I would like to get Recovery Mom. I think we could do a good podcast together. We were supposed to do a collaboration about a year ago, but then she wrote her book and got all mainstream on me and won't return any of my messages. So, Recovery Mom, if you're out there, still waiting to do that video together or podcast possibly, I think it would be interesting. I know that my listeners would definitely enjoy it. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. So I've been told that I should do a podcast for a while. My friends, family, a couple I have suggested it. That way I can get my ugly mug off their TV screens or computer monitors. I mean, I do have a face that is more for radio. But I don't want to say too much about that, or I'll be stealing some other podcaster's line. And, well, if I do that, then I'll probably be, booted out of the podcasting community. So, welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about superpowers. That's right. Very first Mr. BPD podcast, and the very first topic we're going to talk about is superpowers. Why superpowers, you ask? Well, quite simply because why not, right? There's that super movie craze. Like everybody's going out to watch those superhero movies. Or did that end? Did I miss the boat on that? I think that ended after that Endgame movie. I don't think anybody gives a shit anymore, but I like to be behind the curve, so we're going to just pretend like everybody's still into superhero movies to try to escape their rotten existence. I really do believe that. I really do believe that people are out there, trying to escape in these, movies about superheroes and, men that can fly and rich people that can build gadgets and women that can be strong leaders, CEOs, that type of shit. And just to escape the misery of their lives. Because never in the time that I've been alive has life itself been so miserable, so chaotic, and so damn confusing. I mean, we hit 2020 and they just opened the floodgates of ridiculous shit. Am I right? See, if I had a co-host right now, they'd be all like, yeah, you'd be right. Mr. BPD, you know exactly what it's like. And I'd be like, thank you, Redneck, for chiming in. He'd be like, yes, sir. I'm here to just talk every once in a while and agree with everything you say. People that disagree with Mr. BPD make me mad. I'd be like, well, thank you, Redneck, but don't get too out of control there. I just get so worked up, Mr. BPD, when I think of people that don't have the same point of view as you. It makes me mad. I mean, come on, good listeners. Think about this. It wasn't that long ago. It was way back in 2019 when I, Mr. BPD, made the radical decision to get rid of my rotten, horrible teeth while I had the chance. I was not working yet, therefore I could use the government state handouts to get rid of my teeth and get a set of nice pearly white dentures. I took that chance. I knew if I got a job, there'd be no way in hell I'd ever get my teeth fixed. Well, needless to say, I did not realize how long the recovery time for something like that was. When I get out of the dentist's office, I find out I got 6 months until I'll have a pair of dentures. At 6 months, I got to run around looking like, Ed the Crackhound. Who the hell's Ed the Crackhound? I don't know, Redneck. I just made that name up. It didn't really work the way I thought it would. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah, like some person that did crystal meth a lot, how they have no teeth, right? People that do crystal meth make me mad. Yeah, they make me mad too. But yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. I look like somebody that used a lot of meth and lost their teeth. I mean, it couldn't be that when I was young, I was malnutritioned, which caused my teeth to have issues when I grew up because they didn't get enough vitamins or something when I was younger because of the malnutrition. We won't think of that. Now, everyone just assumes if you have no teeth, you have to be a meth head. Now, yeah, in my case, it happened to be true. I had been a meth head, and that's why I lost my teeth. But the malnutrition young thing, that could work too. I bet I could have convinced you all of it. Yes, sir, I bet you could have, Mr. BPD. I don't know why he has to keep saying my name like that. I don't get it. So I went out. So for 6 months, I had no teeth. And I didn't want people seeing me without teeth. I mean, the whole reason that I got rid of my bad ones was not because they were bad. It was because they looked bad. And that was embarrassing. That was the whole reason I was getting new teeth. It was just purely for, my ego. Just so I wouldn't feel like I look like a meth head. Because even though I had been a meth head, I didn't want to look like a meth head for the rest of my life, Sometimes you make decisions and you got to live with them forever. This is one I have to live with. But I didn't want to have to just be stereotypical. I didn't want to, everywhere I went, people are just like, oh, look at that guy, he's a meth head. I didn't want that. So yeah, this had nothing to do with good hygiene or good dental or nothing. I didn't give a shit about that. I just wanted people to look at me and be like, damn, he goes to the dentist. That's what I wanted. You can't get a purtier smile than that unless it's store-bought. Well, it is store-bought, so thank you very much. That 6 months that I didn't have teeth, I wore a bandana. Much like I do in some of my videos now, I brought it back. People seem to like the bandana better than the teeth that cost over $1,000 that you all paid for. If you live in the United States, you paid for my teeth. If you live in Oregon, you definitely paid for my teeth. So anybody in Oregon should not want me to hide my dentures at all. They should be wanting me to show those sons of bitches off, especially since they paid for them. But anyway, people seem to like the bandana look. I don't care. I'll go either way. But for that 6 months, I was wearing a bandana. And do you know the amount of shit that I got for wearing a bandana around? From everybody. I was able to explain it to friends and family kind of easy. I just don't want you to see me with no teeth. They kind of got it. But as far as the ladies at the bank, those people did not get it at all. Bank tellers did not understand why I was wearing a bandana. And that led to some problems, let me tell you. First time I went into the bank wearing a bandana, I thought they were going to shoot me. The grocery stores definitely didn't understand it either. I'd go into the grocery store with my bandana on, and they would look at me. I would be followed around the store by employees that kept pestering me, like every 5 seconds. Can I help you find something, sir? Sir, is there something you're looking for? It's like, no, I am just browsing. Can a man with a bandana get some peace? Just everywhere I went, I got shit for it. Now, flash forward to, present day. Now I can't leave without wearing a face cover. Now my bandana's, perfectly society acceptable. It's okay. I can go to the bank with it. They encourage it. Actually, if I try to go into a bank without my face being covered, they will fucking throw me in jail probably. Or at least give me a ticket. Now how have things changed? I mean, come on. I was doing it before it was popular. That's how quickly things have changed. I love it now. It just amazes me. And in my state, they passed a new thing, too, in Oregon, in the U.S. One of my buddies the other day was talking about how I alienate all of my listeners in other countries. Because I talk and I assume, like, everybody lives in the U.S., and everybody lives, on the West Coast. And so that the time frames and all of that, or like, I don't know. I did some video where I talked about a grocery store, and he's all, well, the people in other countries might not know that grocery store. And I'm like, but they have fucking grocery stores, don't they? If they have a fucking grocery store, then they're probably going to understand what a grocery store is, at least, the functioning of a grocery store. So for everybody out there that didn't understand in the video with the grocery store what a grocery store was because you don't live in the U.S., I'm sorry. But, here's the way I look at it. I live in the U.S. Everybody knows that, all of us in the U.S. don't really fucking know that any other country exists because we're so wrapped up in our own U.S. bullshit, and we've had the American flag shoved up our ass so far and been pumped with, pride juice, that for us to take its time to consider that there are other countries out there and other people out there, it's just beyond us. And so I just assume that all of my listeners that are in other countries will just automatically know that, it's not that I'm trying. I just don't have the time to get off my, pride bus to think about that. My apologies. I truly, truly am sorry. But I'm going to keep on talking the way I do because if I try to worry about everybody that's listening in other countries, it's going to drive me freaking insane. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? I can't remember. Mr. BPD kind of went off on a rant there. I think you were talking about wearing a mask to go down to the bank to try to withdraw some money for some tacos. That is oddly specific. Anyway, yeah, it was something about face. Oh yeah, it was about the new law. It's about the new law. Oh yeah, that new law. That's so stupid. Dolphins are gonna die anyway. You're getting ahead of yourself with the dolphin thing. I don't think our listeners even care about dolphins. I'm pretty sure. If they did, they wouldn't be here. I just made it sound like I give a fuck about dolphins. I do. I care about dolphins. I'm not gonna go kill a dolphin. At the same time, I don't think that a plastic bag is really going to kill off the dolphin species. And yeah, you're probably confused. Let me back up a bit. So in Oregon, in the U.S., they have passed a plastic ban where you can no longer get plastic bags at the grocery store, which they don't even enforce, because if you want to give them 10 cents, you can get plastic bags. They're just different from the other plastic bags. Before, we had these really thin-ass plastic bags. They were cheap as hell. They mass-produced them. And they were free. That's why they were cheap as hell. It was complimentary. The grocery store felt that it was their responsibility to provide you with a way to get your groceries to your home. So they would provide you with these plastic bags to carry your groceries. And they were thin as hell. Normally you had to use 2 or 3 bags, but they'd get pissed about that. And in fact, most grocery stores would bag your stuff for you so that you could not use more than 1 bag per, what you're doing. Even though it didn't matter because it got ridiculous later on. When I was a kid, you go to the grocery store and they would fill that plastic bag to its breaking point, right? So that the second you got out of the store and went to go put the bag in your car or something, you lit that and the bottom just rips out, right? And then you're pissed and they wouldn't give you another bag or anything. If you went and you're too far away, you're already to your damn car. Normally, actually, it would make it to your car. It would be when you tried to get it out of your car into your home that bag would disintegrate, so that you couldn't complain. But then, as I got older, into the 2000s or whatever, not that I'm 2000, but, the year 2000 whatever, then it started being like they just had an abundance of plastic bags and didn't give a shit no more. Because every item would get its own bag. I'd buy, and it made no sense to me. A can of corn gets its own bag. A can of green beans gets its own bag. Then things that don't even need a bag get a bag. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they wanted to everything just wants to get more and more complicated. That's the problem. They can't keep things simple. It used to be when I was a kid, they'd take everything you bought, they'd throw it into one bag that broke when you got home. That's the way it was. Then they got all stupid and decided that everything needed to be separated for cross-contamination. Because in the history of buying groceries, nobody's mixed their bread with their fucking cheese and their meat and gotten sick ever in the history of grocery. But for some reason, they decided it could happen. It was a possibility. Someday, somebody might get sick from that shit and want to sue them or something. So then, your meat had to go into one bag, your canned goods in a different bag, your bread's in another bag, your dairy's in another bag. And so that you would leave the store with like 50,000 bags. I believe your number to be incorrect, Mr. BPD. I don't think anybody would be able to handle 50,000 bags, thank you. Weren't you the son of a bitch saying that you're going to be mad if anybody disagreed with me? Yes, sir, it makes me mad I had to disagree with that number. Anyway, okay, so maybe you had like 20 bags or whatever. And you didn't want to like try to go into your house and make a return trip to your car. So you take all these bags and you like line them up on your arm. And so you just have bags up and down, like, 10 bags to each arm, trying to waddle your way into the house. And you'd realize you have no way of opening the front door. About that time, the bags are starting to rip. You're starting to panic. You're pounding on the door. Nobody will open it. It was a horrible, horrible disaster. It was a mess. Well, now they got even more ridiculous and decided, fuck it, you don't get bags. A grocery store no longer needs to provide you with the bag anymore. Now you must provide your own bag. And if you do want a bag, they're going to charge you 10 cents American. 10 cents American. Some places charge you 15 cents American. Now that might not sound like a lot. But once again, these are the sons of bitches that are going to bag your shit too, right? So they're going to want to put everything in a different bag. You're going to have to, I don't know, what's 10 times 20? That's like $2 for bags or something, right? I believe so. I didn't do the math, but I think that was right. Yeah, about $2 for bags. Why? It's to save the dolphins. Or no, they're actually trying to say it's just for the carbon tax, so that we don't have to, mass produce bags anymore, because that's what's killing the ozone layer and going to cause global warming. It's not, these big fucking companies. No, it's Mr. BPD wanting to get a fucking little bag at a grocery store. But we'll still give you one. But now the plastic bags are like more durable. Bullshit they are. They just seem like they're more durable. Okay, they might be a little bit more durable. So now you pay 10 cents for this plastic bag that's supposed to be all durable, right? So they're trying to promote you to use the same bag, renewable energy, that bullshit, right? That they're always trying to scam us with. Renewable energy. That renewable energy is such a bullshit scam that, it takes more energy to make renewable energy than the renewable energy gives us. It makes no sense. Only insane narcissists would come up with this. But that is for another podcast. This one is about superpowers. At least it was. I don't think it is anymore. Oh, yes. No, it still is. This is why we have to watch superhero movies, because of this plastic bag bullshit. And you know what happens? They sell you these bags, right? You get out, you take them home, and you just probably toss them in a corner somewhere. Or like what I know most chicks to be doing, most chicks I've seen will take all these bags and they shove them in some drawer in the kitchen. That's where the plastic bags go. And you know what happens? In about a month or so, that drawer is overfilling, because every time they go back to the store, guess what they do? They buy more fucking bags. Why? Because they forget the bags that they're supposed to take back to the store. And it's only 10 cents, 15 cents. Who cares, right? Who cares? So they just buy more bags because it's easier. It's more convenient. It's not easier. It's not more convenient. You shouldn't have to buy any bags in the first fucking place. It's all a scam. They're not saving anything. These more durable plastic bags are going to cause more Now I can't even talk. I'm getting so mad. I know how you feel. I get mad all the time. Everything makes me mad. Everything's starting to make me mad, too. I'm starting to know how the redneck feels over there. So anyway, before you know it, your whole fucking kitchen is just going to be just bags shoved into little corners of the room. Because nobody remembers to take these fucking bags back to the store next time. And you feel like an idiot walking into a store with a handful of fucking empty bags. But I'm loving it. Wasn't that an old McDonald's fucking slogan for a while? I'm loving it. I wish I had known the world was going to get like this back when I was a teenager, back when I was a shoplifter, because I would have just bided my time, because never has it been easier to be a shoplifter than it is now. Now, here's what I do when I go to the stores. I make sure to put on my bandana and my hoodie. And I take in my own damn bag. I don't want one of your plastic bags either. No, I'm bringing in my big old jumbo fucking hiking backpack that can just store like a ton of stuff, right? This bag's made for like hiking through the wilderness when you're going to be in the woods for a week or something. Yeah, it's got your little survival kits and everything. But I take all that stuff out. So I just have the bag. I walk in there, I throw that bag right in my shopping cart. And here's why I take my own bag. I'm not going to pay 10 cents for their bags, for one. And A backpack, I can just put the backpack on my back and I can just walk. I don't got to carry the son of a bitch. And the only reason you know what? I don't even use their shopping carts anymore. You know what? Fuck that. I'm not using their shopping carts anymore. Here's what I'm going to do from now on when I go to the stores. I'm going there with my fucking own personalized bag. And then as I'm walking around, everything I want, I'm just going to grab items right off the shelf, throw it right in my fucking bag. Because I know it's not long until, they're going to decide that providing shopping carts is too inconvenient or something. You know what it's going to be? Here's what it's going to be. I bet you. I'm going to make this prediction now because I always make these predictions and then I don't tell anybody about them until after they've come true, right? And then nobody fucking believes me. They're like, sure, yeah, you did predict that. So this one, I'm going to make the prediction now, and then in 6 months to a year when this stupid shit happens, we can all come back, we can listen to this podcast again, and it'll be right there. Mr. BPD called it. Sorry, I got so angry I had to take a drink there. Alright, now here's the prediction. Here soon, shopping carts are not going to be allowed, and this is why. It's going to be this whole fucking virus bullshit, right? That, the fact that we're sharing shopping carts is just going to make people sick, right? Because, one person uses a shopping cart and they don't have a contamination station. I haven't seen anybody putting their carts anywhere than the normal cart spots, right? I go around and I see everybody just, they go in there with their fucking stupid little face mask on and their fucking, yeah, they go in there and they fucking hand sanitize their little fucking hands and they grab a fucking dirty ass shopping cart. What fucking sense does that make, right? And in fact, you're touching products on the shelf. You think anybody else? Why aren't we wearing fucking gloves, huh? Where are the gloves? Why haven't they instituted gloves yet? If you gotta wear a face mask, you should wear fucking gloves. Fuck washing your hands, put some fucking gloves on. So that's what I do, and I'm predicting that soon we'll all have to wear fucking gloves. So you go in there, you put on your face mask, you put on your hoodie, you got your gloves on, you got your big ass backpack, and then you just grab items off the shelf, put it right in your fucking bag, and when you're ready to go, just fucking walk out. Because you know what? Fuck them. And if they try to stop you, fucking what are they gonna do? Just keep walking. Just don't even pay them any attention. And I guarantee your food budget is gonna increase a lot. Now, Mr. BPD wouldn't do that. Because Mr. VPD doesn't believe in stealing anymore. Not since the Snicker incident of 2016, where Mr. BPD became the Snicker Bandit, and, well, it's been haunting me ever since. It was the most expensive Snicker bar that ever in the history of the world, and I still am going to stick by my guns of saying that I did not steal that Snicker bar. I just forgot to pay for it. I was perfectly willing to pay for it, but they wanted to be douchebags. So I should promote stealing, but I'm not. Instead, I'm just going to tell you how you could do it. I mean, nobody's going to stop you. And if they do, take off your fucking glove and try to touch them. Or even better yet, take off your face cover and just start fucking coughing at them and see if they run. That's pretty mean, Mr. BPD. You could give them a virus or something. And if you gave me a virus and make me mad, just like my damn stupid heifer wife, she doesn't want to go nowhere. She thinks she's going to get a virus, so she just stays on the couch eating chicken and won't get off the damn couch. It makes me mad. Well, thanks for that bit of pointlessness, Redneck. It gets me so worked up, this whole situation. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So those are my two predictions right there. I'm making them now. That they're going to institute that we wear gloves. And that shopping carts are no longer sanitary enough. Now, if we were wearing the gloves, maybe we could keep the shopping carts. So they'll probably, there's no cost effectiveness in it. Shopping carts are pretty cheap. I mean, they don't really break down too often. The problem is people steal your shopping carts. You get the homeless out there using your shopping cart. That's my fucking shopping cart. Why are you using it? So, fuck the homeless. Fuck their shopping carts. Let's get rid of shopping carts. Make everyone wear fucking gloves. And if you want something to hold your groceries while you're in the store, bring your own fucking bag. And that way we can all be, contaminant free and safe. Better yet, just order your shit online. Why not? Who wants to go to an actual physical location anyway when you can do everything from the comfort of your home? You know what's great about being at home? You can't see what's going on outside your home. So just stay at home. That should be the motto of 2020. Fuck, the world got fucking fuckered. Stay at fucking home. Fuck. Yeah, that was a lot of just profanity for no reason. I find your use of profanity to be a little bit gratuitous. I do not believe that your audience, your listeners, need to hear the profanity to pay attention. Well, I do, redneck. I believe if I were to not throw in a couple fucks and shit that my listeners would just tune out. I wouldn't be edgy enough. It used to be that you lose credibility if you curse. Nowadays, if you don't curse, then you lose credibility. It's a fucked up world we're living in. It's a world that makes me mad. Now, getting back to superheroes. Yeah, so that's why we just escape into our superhero movies that suck now. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This whole... I mean, back in about 5 years ago, I was predicting some crazy stuff was going to happen. Much like what's going down now. I couldn't have imagined that it was going to be a virus that was going to be the trigger for everything. You know what amazed me the other day? Okay, so I live in the U.S., right? See, I got to bring that up because my friend had to bring it up that, people might be listening from Australia. So you got to, give a shout out to Australia, which I'm going to do. So everybody living in Australia, thank you for listening because I've got an audience out there. So I do know that you're out there. You could leave comments. Now, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. These podcasts, I'm going to start doing these podcasts more often. And I want to have, I want you people to write in. Or, I guess it's write in. Anyway, email me with, just shit in your life that's going on that you want Mr. BPD's advice on. It's going to be the Mr. BPD, advice page or whatever. Back in the day, they used to, you'd write to the newspaper and they'd give you advice or whatever. No, Mr. BPD is going to do it, but now we're living in a new type of world. So I don't know. Email me whatever your question is, or maybe you can leave it in the comment section, however you want to do it. Just know that Mr. BPD will be answering these in his podcast, And so if you want to hear the answers to your questions, you're going to have to listen to the podcast. That's how I get you to come back. And it'll be interesting. It'll give me something to fucking ramble on. Because I'm doing this life coaching thing, and everybody's like, Mr. BPD can't give advice, so I'm going to show everybody what great advice Mr. BPD can give by using your questions to sponsor my business. It's the American way. So be sure to email me at MrBPD, patreon.com. You can also, Mr. BPD's got a website now. I know, right? A website. Can you believe it? I can. Now, it has everything to do with BPD, but I'm not the spotlight of the actual website. It's very new. If you do decide to visit it, please be gentle. It's the first website that I've designed. I'm not a website designer or anything. I'm giving it my best shot. There's some Mr. BPD shit you can buy. That's the name of the store, Mr. BPD shit. And anyway, if you want to find my website, it's bpdanswer.com. Not answers, but answer. Just singular. One answer, not plural. bpdanswer.com. Now, you don't need the .com. Everybody knows it's a fucking .com. But if I don't put that in, someone will be like, you forgot the .com. You don't even need the .com. It'll come up. Just BPD Answer. Not Answers, because somebody else already owns Answers. So it's just Answer. That's my website. Go check it out. You can leave your questions there as well. So there's plenty of ways to leave your questions. Then you get some free advice. It's not really free because I'm making my end on it by being able to promote my business. So it's a win-win. I also got some Mr. BPD merch. That's what all the youngsters say. Merch. We got merch up in here. I don't even know what that means. I think it's short for merchandise because we can't fucking, say a whole word now. We got to do merch. Anyway, I have fired, or not fired, but I walked away from Ducey Davis Designs because they were not committed. After 4 years, they only came up with some coffee cups that nobody bought and couldn't wash. So we're going with somebody new. It's a joint venture, so I design the merchandise, they ship it out, so I know the shipping is all good, and they make it, I just design it. So if you want your Mr. BPD designer shirt, right now, that's a limited edition that's going to run for 14 days. It's a trial. I'm trying them out to see if they're legit and see if anybody wants to buy any of this shit. So that's a limited edition shirt. Only so many will be made, and then it will never be available again. So if you want your very first Mr. BPD shirt ever made, that's a limited edition, go pick it up. There should be a link in the description to go find that. Now, after this, most shirts will not be limited edition. I'll just mass produce stuff. So, I mean, if you want it to have any value possibly, you'll want to get that shirt. And if you want any merchandise whatsoever, because if nobody buys in 14 days, I'm going to give up on the merchandising thing, and we'll just put more YouTube ads in. More ads from YouTube. Now, I'd like to get away from ads on YouTube altogether, because I hate them. I'd rather just sell shirts, but that's up to all of you. Jeez, this whole fucking thing is complicated. You know, if you'd told me like 5 years ago when I decided to, well, actually, I was just making a diary back then. But if you'd told me once I decided that I wanted to make something out of this Mr. BPD thing, I wanted to help people out, wanted to give them some good quality shirts, I would have told you that is way too much work and I'm not going to do it. And I would have tried to outsource it, which I did, and outsourcing sucks. And I don't even know why you know what? I need a cigarette is what I need. But I can't smoke anywhere because smoking's illegal. You know what? I don't know. Redneck, just talk about some shit while I go gather my thoughts. Alright, Mr. BPD is off to gather his thoughts. 2020 has been a bad year for everybody. I lost my job, which now I gotta sit at home with my fat heifer wife who's yelling at me about going to get a job because she wants more chicken, but she won't get a job. She doesn't need to get a job. She's my princess. That's what she said. She's like, I'm your princess. I don't need a job. You need to go make money. And it makes me mad. She just sits there all day long watching The Charmed on the TV, and she loves The Charmed. I can't stand The Charmed, but she makes me watch it when I'm not getting her chicken. And sometimes I'll have to go get her chicken, and she's already got like a leg or something all rolled up in her fat rolls, and it pisses me off. And last year I missed the pig and forward race. I always like to do the pig and forward race, but I didn't get to do the pig and forward race because they had disqualified me for getting into fisticuffs with a guy that oiled the pig wrong. You're supposed to oil the pig from ass to head, not from head to ass, and he did it wrong. And anyway, Mr. BPD's giving me that signal that I need to switch it back on to him. But just remember pigs and forwards. All right. Well, I've gathered my thoughts now, and I'm thinking that the redneck should never be allowed to just ramble on incoherently without somebody here to monitor him. But who am I to know that? You know, people tell me to calm down about these plastic bag issue and what does it matter? And the face mask thing, I'm really against wearing a face mask everywhere I go. You know why? If you don't want to get sick, stay at fucking home. That's the way I look at it. You can do everything from home, right? So if you don't want to get sick, stay at home. And they say the whole face mask thing is not for your protection, right? It's for the protection of everybody else. Right? So that because wearing the face mask won't keep you from getting infected. Wearing a face mask will prevent you from infecting others, right? That's what they say. Okay. You know why they do it that way? Because if it was, about protecting yourself, you could have a choice. If it was the face mask would, protect you from getting the coronavirus, then it would be optionary because you're only putting yourself at harm by not wearing it. So no, they make it where if you don't wear a face mask, you're putting everybody in danger. You know why? Because then it's not a choice. Because then they can enforce it because they don't want, how can you argue with, you want to just go out and infect everybody, which nobody wants to go infect anybody. But at the same time, should I have to wear a face mask? Because, you're just getting everybody riled up for no reason. What it should be is, well, if you go outside, you're taking a choice. You know what? They've already said that the best thing to do is to stay at home. If you choose to not stay at home, then you know what? You're risking it. Don't take choice away from people, though. This because it never stops with just a little bit, right? I mean, it's my body, my choice. You know, and actually, yeah, if I do want to infect people, fuck it, that should be my choice. You know, people should know that, yeah, if you go outside, there might be someone like me running around that might be infected. But no, they're going to implement this face mask thing as a way of protecting people. The government can't protect us, okay? I got to tell you that right now. Don't let the government protect you. The more power we give the government, the more freedom we lose. Okay? And how does a government get complete power? By scaring the fuck out of everybody and promising to protect them. I mean, come on. You get people afraid, they'll give up their freedoms. I mean, we already gave away the freedom to just be able to breathe regular air. Now we got to breathe stale, air. We got to wear these face masks everywhere we go in businesses and shit. You can't go to the bar anymore. You got to do this social distancing bullshit. If we're wearing the face mask, why do we have to keep social distancing? That's what I want to know. But no, it's not like, they take away something and bring something back. I mean, it should be like, now that we're wearing face masks, fuck it, you can just be as close as you want. You should be able to fuck as long as you're wearing the face mask because you won't contaminate the other person. It's all bullshit, I believe. And you know why I believe it's all bullshit? Because everything's bullshit. I mean, do you really think that anybody gives a fuck about you, especially those in power that are so far away from normal society that they can't relate with normal society at all? I feel like if our president doesn't care about infecting people, neither should I. And also, here's another thing. They're telling us about how bad Corona is, right? I have yet to hear of one actual case. Everything I've heard about is all mainstream media stuff, right? They're telling me figures that are out there, but who the hell am I going to trust the mainstream media? Am I going to trust any media, in fact? I don't care who you are. You could be some weird, crazy conspiracy theorist nut on the internet, Alex Jones, or you could be, like some big shot CNN, CBS, whatever reporter. I'm not going to believe either one of you because no one is truthful these days, and it's all about scaring everybody. And there's no proof behind anything. There's all these, computer models and these research. You know how easy it is to fake that shit? I mean, I'm sure if I took one afternoon to learn some kind of photoshopping program or whatever, I could probably come up with all kinds of graphs and shit that look legit to try to prove my point. So I know these sons of bitches can. They've got the finances to fake it. And I know I sound like one of those conspiracy theory nutcases myself. But I'm not going to rule it out because it seems a lot more plausible at this point because I'm not seeing any actual proof. I mean, if it's as bad as and I'm not saying that there's no virus. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not bad. I think they're over-exaggerating things a bit, possibly. And even if they're not, where's the proof? Like, I haven't seen any actual proof. I don't see any actual evidence of it. You can tell me, I haven't. And granted, I live in a small town. But you'd think in a small town, it might be easier to prove some weird shit like this. So there's this rumor going around in the town that I live in that there's supposedly been 9 cases of corona in this town, right? And this has even been, reported in our newspaper. But no names have been given of the people that may have gotten it. Nor has anybody, this has been weeks ago that I first heard about the cases, right? I mean, so they should be cured by now, right? Or dead, one of the two. There haven't been any new funerals, so I mean, the obituaries haven't been there's not 9 new people in the obituaries, and nobody's reported to have been cured. No, there were just 9 cases, and they went into quarantine or whatever, but nobody ever fucking heard from them again. Where the fuck did they go, right? It's been long enough. We should have had a follow-up on what happened to these 9 people. But no, they just disappeared, or they never existed at all. Now, why would the local paper lie about something like that? I don't know. I'm not the local paper. But they can't provide me with a name of anybody, and that's to protect them or whatever. Well, shouldn't you let the public know who's infected? I mean, yeah, you should. I want names. So you can't give me names. You can't tell me what happened to these people. That makes me think these people never existed. You know, you just randomly say, oh, yeah, there's 9 cases, blah, 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 and give all this scared information, but you don't give any proof. Where's the proof? Then there's a rumor about this chick at Burger King, a random chick at Burger King tested positive, and now nothing, right? Just everybody knows that this chick at Burger King got it, so nobody goes to Burger King anymore. And the thing in this town is Burger King and McDonald's, I think, have had this feud for years. And it's not like a corporate feud. I'm not talking about like the corporation McDonald's and the corporation Burger King are in a feud. I mean, everybody knows that, you know, they're competitors. No, this is like this is a small town, remember? The employees, the people that work at the McDonald's hate the employees that work at the Burger King, right? And this feud has nothing to do with the places they work at. It's just coincidental that they happen to work for competing fast food restaurants, right? And so, like, the Burger King employees hate the McDonald's employees, and the McDonald's employees hate the Burger King employees, but the McDonald's employees have bigger mouths, right? And are always saying shit about the Burger King to make it look bad. Like, you know, they were saying there were rats, you know, like in the fry boxes and stuff. And like every year a new rumor about the Burger King comes out. And I don't know, the McDonald's people are good at shutting down any rumors about McDonald's, I guess, because you never hear anything bad about McDonald's, but always the Burger King. So, I mean, there's plenty of reason not to eat at the Burger King just because of all the shit that's talked about it. But this year, the new rumor is some chick got coronavirus, but nobody knows who the chick is, right? And this town is too small to not know who the Burger King chick is, so I'm saying it's bullshit. Nobody at Burger King got corona, especially not some chick. Because you can't show me proof. Show me some fucking proof. And now why would people want to, you know, straight out lie or over-exaggerate a situation? To get control, to get you to do what they want you to do. And did you know that wearing face masks takes away one of our basic human, natural, instinctual devices? Like human beings do a lot of things just subconsciously and quickly. Face recognition is one of them. We judge a lot off an individual's face, facial expressions and all of that. If we can't see people's faces now, everyone becomes a threat. Because you know what? When you can't see a face, you know what your body does? You know what your brain does? That subconscious, you know, wanting to protect you thing does? It's going to mark them as a threat. Because they're covering their face. And you won't even know it. It's subliminal. It's like you don't even pick up on it. And the powers that be know this. So you make everybody wear a face mask. That way everybody's a threat to everybody else. We can't become united as a people if we're afraid of the other people. If we have to stay 6 feet away, put like balloons on our arms and shit. I mean, come on, people. Think about this shit. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but is what I'm saying more crazy? Because I can provide the proof. I can provide scientific, you know, research that does talk about how we pick up on facial expressions and do all this subliminal shit. How we judge people before we even meet them. We judge somebody instantaneously just upon seeing them. I can show you that research if anybody really wants to see it. But that research could be fake too. But just go ahead and test it. Just go out there and just look at a bunch of people in masks and look at a bunch of people not in masks. See which ones you trust more. I mean, I don't want to sound like a nutcase, but I was predicting like crazy shit like this years ago. And once again, I should have made the predictions like, you know, in a video or something, but I don't even know. I don't even think I was doing videos back when I was predicting this shit. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm the first one to admit that I might just be crazy. I might be wrong. Don't take my word for it. I just want people to think. I don't want people to just accept everything on face value. I mean, don't believe what I say, but don't believe what anybody else says either. Find your own proof. Find your own beliefs. Don't let other people think for you or let you believe that they can protect you in any way, because at the end of the day, there's only one person that can protect you, and that is you. Everybody is responsible for their own safety. So don't think that wearing a fucking face mask is going to fucking help anything. Oh, but then again, it's not about helping anybody. Well, it's about helping everybody else except yourself, because if it was up to you, I mean, they can't take away your personal freedom, but if you're going to harm people, then they can get the mob mentality to, force you to do something. And I got these people yelling and screaming at me if I don't wear a face mask, but they don't really even have any idea what they're screaming and yelling about. I ask them why I need to wear a face mask. They tell me because the person at Burger King got corona. I'm like, well, what person at Corona? The chick. I'm like, what chick? Well, she worked night crew. Okay, what shifts? What's her name? Okay, is she not working there now? Does she still work there? I mean, give me some fucking information here, people. Anyway, I'm done bitching about that. I mean, we got there's more stuff to bitch about. And anyway, I don't know. Redneck, what do you think? I think that wearing a face mask is I'll do it. I don't care. I'll just do what anybody tells me to do, though. I mean, I don't want to rock the boat. I'm just looking for employment. I want to get a job so I can bring in some money, so I can buy some chicken for my heifer wife, and then I'll do the pig and Ford race this year, and that's all I care about. I mean, I don't care what they want me to do, as long as that I do it and go along with what everybody wants me to do and don't cause any waves, because causing waves makes people mad. And couldn't have said it better myself. Anyway, I think I've bitched enough. I'm getting a freaking headache just from being mad. So yeah, that's the first podcast where we talked about superheroes. Really, just about how crappy everything is, and how, sometimes it's just better to just, no matter how bad Batman vs. Superman was, it's better than the shit we're going through, right? So even a bad superhero movie beats a regular day. Isn't that just something that's positive? That's encouraging. I don't know. I don't feel like being encouraging today. I mean, I would like to, but screw it, right? 2020, woohoo! Go watch a superhero movie. That's what I'm going to do. Be sure to go check out my website. Remember that it's new. Definitely be sure to ask some questions so that the next podcast I actually have something to answer and do. If I get enough questions, maybe we'll do a live stream if I have some material, because I don't do live streams because, well, I never know what to talk about. But if I have a bunch of people's questions to answer, maybe I'll do a live stream. Just remember that if you are asking me questions or anything, it will be brought up in a video of some sort. So you're giving me full permission to answer your questions and blah, 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 blah. All right. Well, go buy my merchandise. You can donate at PayPal. Basically, just help this channel keep going so we can keep spreading these encouraging messages. Until next time, keep on keeping on.